Ben ritrovati giovedì mattina sul floor del New York Stock Exchange. In questo momento gli indici sono tutti in territorio negativo, sembrano voler quindi davvero chiudere il mese con un bilancio al ribasso. Ricordiamo che fino a questo momento è il peggior mese dallo scorso settembre per lo Standard Poor's 500. Ne parliamo con la mia ospite qui sul floor. Come vedete, come ogni giovedì, è Doreen Mogavero, che è fondatrice, presidente e amministratore delegato di Mogavero Lee Co. Doreen, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So Doreen, what a month it has been. They say sell in May and go away. We repeat that, it's such a cliche, but maybe this time it could be sell in May and wait for June.
A lot of people went away before May, by the way. The outflows from mutual funds have continued from last year. So, I mean, selling and going away happened before May. I don't know. I'm not very optimistic, as you know. I think we're in a terrible state. I mean, we've got German two-year notes at zero. I mean, that's sort of an ominous thing for me to look at. I don't like looking at it on the screen or anyplace else. But I think that, I mean, obviously we have to go forward, but I'm not enthusiastic. I mean, I know, as we were just talking, I went to an event last night for Mitt Romney, and whether you are in that camp or in the Obama camp, to me, you know, you are what you are. It is what it is. But what was very, very apparent to me is the level of interest in this coming election in the United States. I mean, it was people that, surprisingly, a lot of Democrats were at this thing, and I think that says something to me. They weren't there. It wasn't an event like a party. It was more like a conversation, meeting kind of a thing. But what was very interesting was that there were a lot of Democrats, not necessarily there because they agree, but they were there because they want to hear the other side. People now want to hear the other side. They're so interested that they're not just sitting around thinking, well, okay, this is one way, let's go this way. We have to know both sides now before we make a decision. I thought that was interesting.
And let's underline, it's not just Wall Street Democrats.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, it was really a very interesting mix of people. I mean, I came away very encouraged, not just, I mean, I am a Mitt Romney fan, but I'm not just for that reason. I came away encouraged because I think the level of intelligent discussion by people that are about to cast their vote was very awe-inspiring. Really, it was great. So.
And of course, the economy is going to be the focus for this election. And that's what, and all the numbers that we are seeing, even though of course they are much better, because you can kind of move the numbers around to make them look at least a little bit stronger. They are disappointing and disappointing. So this will really play next November.
Well, I mean, I have to tell you, if you live here, you don't need numbers to know how difficult it is out there to make a living. Small businesses, I mean, when you drive around and you see, it doesn't matter where you are. And I mean, and I travel quite a bit. I mean, relative to most people that don't, you know, for business and whatever. But, I mean, you see the amount of stores everywhere you go that have closed, the downsizing going on in big stores. I mean, you don't really need those numbers to know, if you live here, that things are really very, very difficult. And I think that's the problem. You know, we've all come to the conclusion the numbers we got today were obviously disappointing. And I think this is going to be, going into the election, if this is the case, I mean, I think people will want change. You know, we've got to see something happen. We've got to see, you can't keep selling a failed policy. If the policy's not working, we have to change it. And if the current administration is not willing to look at a change, then we have to change the administration. I don't think there's any other way to do it. If he wants to change, well, that's okay. We'll take a look at that. But.
And also considering what is going on in Europe, I guess it's a big, everybody, not just in the United States, we are in big need of leadership.
Well, I think we need somebody that's willing to look at both sides of the coin and say, this is, and we also, I think, across the globe, need leaders that are willing to realize when something is not working, we need to change it. You just can't dig your heels in and keep going and going and going. I mean, that's a fatal flaw.
So do you think that all this waiting mood is going to affect the market even more throughout the summer?
I think it's going to be a very, very difficult summer. I think there's two ways I see it going. A slow bleed on the way down, or a huge move down, terrifying everyone. I don't know which it'll be, but I don't see it going up.
And the Federal Reserve can save the day, you think?
No, I don't think so. I think the Federal Reserve, although I keep saying it's nice to know that they're there, they've been there. It's not helping us. You see, that I think is the frustration that I'm hearing everywhere I go, and I have myself, is that whatever they're doing, it's not helping us. It's not helping Europe. It's not helping us. We need to find a new approach. And unfortunately, I think the approach that probably will work the best in the shortest period of time is going to be the most painful. And that's where we have the conflict.
And the last note is not a good one. We've been talking about Facebook for such a long time and all the possible, effect, and now we have a proof. We are hearing that Kayak, another tech company, has decided not to go ahead with the IPO after Facebook failure. So the first one officially said no to the market.
Well, I think I will say that anybody that pulls an IPO is pulling it because of the environment and their assessment of the environment. I don't think that they're pulling it because of Facebook. I mean, I think Facebook is surrounded with tons of controversy, and we've yet to figure out really who is rightly blamed and who is not. I think there are no question there were technical failures. I don't think there were no question that there was information that should have been disseminated earlier. But as far as the pricing, I'm still going to stand by the fact that the supply and demand provide the pricing. The demand was there for the price that was given. I don't think as far as a tech IPO with the enthusiasm around Facebook, I didn't feel, at least initially, that it was such an exorbitant price. You know, and I mean, it landed where it started the first day, and then to me, that's how we price things, that's how pricing is done. From that point forward, who knows what's going to happen. Outside of the dissemination of information, which I think we still are looking at, right? I think that beyond that, I think you can't blame anybody. I think it's the environment. I don't think it's Facebook. Facebook, ultimately, in 10 years, probably going to be a great company.
Well,
900 million people know something,
And to support what you said about the price, this morning I was reading that there is an analyst that actually decided to put as a target price 40. So that will confirm that the price was right.
I'm going to defend that pricing. I don't think the pricing was bad. I think they did what they needed to do with the information they had versus supply and demand. And I think that was, and I commend them actually for moving it up as the demand increased. So I think that was a very good thing. I think they did a good job with that. And I may be the only person that thinks that, but I definitely think that. So I don't know.
It cannot be the reason why it was a disaster.
People are just looking at the environment, looking at around, and seeing the condition of economies across the globe, and saying, I'm probably not getting top dollar today. And I think they're just evaluating that based on what they know and what they see. So.
And they will definitely be better off for now compared to Facebook. So.
Listen. No matter how bad it gets, it only stays that way for a short period of time. That's the good news. Every day we get closer to some sort of resolution. So that's a good thing. Otherwise, you can't get up in the morning, right?
So we finished with a good note. That's good.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Thank you, Doreen, for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
E grazie a voi per l'attenzione. A domani.